Hey everyone, we are in the 2025 Lucid Air Touring, and we are going to go charge just a little bit. We have 223 miles of range right now, just around 55-ish% of the battery pack, but we're going to go on a road trip and I just want to have a little bit more charge, and we'll get a really cool or at least better statistics when we do have a better charge on this. So let's input a charger, and I'll show you what happens when you use the Lucid navigation system and input a charger in the vehicle. So we're going to go over to our awesome navigation system. So we have it on two screens here. We can even kind of swipe this one away and kind of put it down there, which is really fun and cool, or you can bring it back. But it even inputs stuff for Tesla chargers, for example. So I'm going to input this particular Tesla charger. Now, the Lucids have not officially opened full access to the Tesla superchargers, though this one is a magic connector supercharger. So any CCS vehicle can charge there regardless, as long as you download the Tesla app and pay through that. But as you can see, CCS DC fast charging. I'm going to press go. We can also select our different routes. So there's different options as well. But when we press go over here, it's going to tell us both our range on arrival, and it's going to automatically precondition the battery here in the Lucid Air to get it to an optimal temperature for DC fast charging, which is going to be really cool. So we'll see if this zaps any range. Once we arrive to the charger, we'll kind of go through the steps to kind of plug it in and see if there's any other issues that may arise, which I don't expect to happen whatsoever, because I've charged these guys before in many different Airs and had no problems whatsoever. So let's head off. We'll get off on our journey here. It says it's going to take around 24 minutes, around 14.9 miles. It says 203 miles on arrival there, but I think I could beat that. This car is pretty efficient. Just to show you guys our efficiency numbers real quick. Over the 119 miles I've been driving this car, we have done 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour, but I have seen this a lot higher when you're driving a little bit more efficiently. But anyways, enough blabbing, let's go head off. Okay guys, we're just pulling up to the supercharger here right now. We have our great Lucid cameras to make sure we don't hit anything, but we are probably going to have to pull up a little bit uncomfortably over this curb here to actually get this to work. It is telling us to stop now, so hopefully this charger will reach up front and Lucid. If not, we'll have to move closer, but we're here. Let's pop it into park real quick. We have 196 miles of range, so a little bit less, probably because it was preconditioning. It is still preconditioning, so you can still plug it in while we are preconditioning. So let's go plug it in. We'll open our charge port door and pop in the supercharger with the magic connector. Okay guys, our Lucid charge port is open, and I like how it actually doesn't have a cover you have to pull out. It kind of seals itself, and we did have to move up pretty close up front here for this to actually reach over here. So all we have to do now is hold this in, and the magic connector will connect, since this is a magic connector, and we should just be able to plug this in here just like that. And I'm going to go activate it via the Tesla app, and we should be set to charge. Okay guys, and it is charging already. All I had to do is connect it via the Tesla app. It literally took like 30 seconds. You could also set your charge targets and everything all in this infotainment screen over here in the lower section over here. You have the smart preconditioning, for example, and all that fun stuff there. So really cool stuff on the Lucid screen. I like these cool animations that it actually gives you for charging as well. We even get that up here on our dash, and I will update you guys on anything that happens while we're charging here. Okay guys, we are charging here, and as expected, we're only getting 48 kilowatts out of this V3 Tesla supercharger. This is because, of course, the Lucid is a very high voltage vehicle operating around 800 volts, which can kind of split the pack in a way to make it go down to around 400 volts. But this puts out around 800 amps. I think it's around 355 volts. So the Lucid is kind of having to compensate for that to try to actually convert the power to make it compatible with the vehicle. So we're only getting around 48 kilowatts of speed. So if you are looking for really good speeds, you're really going to want to find a charger which is a little bit more higher amps, probably a newer EA station. I think the newer Tesla chargers, the V4 ones, should be able to kind of compensate for this. But this is all we really have over here. EA was completely packed, unfortunately, Electrify America. So this is what we're going to be doing, and just for a little bit sitting here, you can kind of hear some stuff whirring up front. Totally normal for this kind of process. But if you do find yourself in this situation, try to beforehand, I guess, kind of figure out what charger you may be going to, because that may kind of determine what speeds you will get with your Lucid Air. Okay guys, as I said, this was just a quick charge at this Tesla supercharger, especially because it cannot pull that much power with this car. So we're going to end the charge at 60% here. You can do that from the Tesla app, or we can just press stop charging right there, and it will instantly stop charging. We have gained 49 miles of this, 10 kilowatt hours, and I will overlay the payment information from the Tesla app to show you guys how much this cost. It's only around 47 cents per kilowatt hours at this particular time, which isn't too bad. Let's go unplug and head on our way. Okay, everyone, we have just arrived at the chargers, and luckily, somehow, we actually have one available for us, and it's a hyper-fast EA charger up to 350 kilowatts. So we're really going to be able to see how quick this Lucid really can charge at these EA stations with full power. So we're going to plug this whole thing in, and I will get you guys back on camera once we plug in and get charging. Battery is pre-conditioned, nice and warm. We're at 65 miles. Let's just go on a percentage right here real quick. 16%. So we're 16%. 65 miles. Let's see what we can do. Okay, guys, we just plugged in the Lucid, and oh boy, it is ramping up rapidly quick here. We're gonna go over to our charging screen over in our center console here. 202 kilowatts already, 203 kilowatts. So this thing can charge pretty quick on these 350 fast chargers. Good to know. It's going in and out of speeds. Oh boy, what is happening here? Ramping all the way down to 150 kilowatts. We'll see what it kind of levels itself around at, but at least around up there to a second. If not, seeing around 150 is not too bad. I think the car should be warm enough for this, but we're at 18%. It says an hour and 25 minutes remaining. We're not going to charge it up to 100% because we do still have a while to go on our road trip. Okay, everyone. So we have been here for, I would say 16, 17 minutes, and we've gained around 170 miles. 38 kilowatt hours have been pumped into the Lucid, and we have plenty of range actually now to get back home without any issues. And let's unplug the vehicle. So we have a total of 243 miles of range now as well. Really nice out of this Lucid Air. Let's unplug, pop this back over here. Now, one of the best parts of a Lucid Air, not only is its incredible efficiency and range, but it's also its charging capability. The Lucids are one of the quickest charging electric vehicles on the market right now, at least in the United States and most of Europe. And they run on an incredibly high electrical architecture with high voltage. And it's almost around 900 volts, which is pretty nuts. And thankfully, they have this incredible technology under here called the Wonder Box, which is a kind of a inverter converter style box there that's able to kind of boost voltage up. So it is compatible with current Tesla superchargers, for example, with those magic connectors, or if you have an adapter and you can plug it in and it somehow works, these will soon have full access to all supercharger networks. But remember, since this is such a high voltage, some of the older superchargers that don't have those version 4 chargers and version 4 cabinets, it's only going to charge around 50-ish kilowatts on those particular ones. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. If you find a charger where it can supply this car with all the power it needs, you can charge, I think, up to around 250-ish kilowatts, which we actually just saw yesterday on an Electrify America charger, which is pretty impressive, which means you can add around 200 miles of range in just around 15 or 16 minutes, which is pretty impressive. This car can charge really fast, and even on level 2 charging, it can charge up to 19.2 kilowatts, which is also really quick. It also has complete plug and charge capability when you can sign in through the Lucid app and the Lucid infotainment system, which is really cool. And this vehicle can support vehicle-to-vehicle charging, so you could actually charge a Tesla or another Lucid from the charge port of this vehicle at around, I think, 9 kilowatts of speed, which is pretty cool. So lots of fun charging capability stuff. Our charge port door is located right up front here on the driver's center, and it's fully powered. There's no cover, actually. The charger door itself is the cover for this vehicle, so that is also quite nice. Otherwise, charging on this thing is an absolute beast.